morning, everybody. I toast to you and all you do. I hope you're having a fantastic day and that all is well. Night, evening, whatever it is where you are. So I really thought that yesterday was the full moon when I looked at the calendar this morning. I was like, oh my gosh, I missed the full moon. No. I was just trying to skip ahead a whole week. I was trying to take out the last week of February and just set it aside and be like, it's gone. That's not the case, though. So the full moon is on February 27th here in Mountain Standard Time. It's at 1 a.m. So there are going to be some places and some calendars that put this full moon on the 26th. So it just kind of depends on where you are and what time that falls. There is a great moon calendar for each. See, I have my Mountain Standard Time, but there's one for each thing. They're at the peacockpages.com. It's a pagan directory. They have some little things like that on there. Pretty awesome. But that just helps me to know the right time for me personally. And yeah, so anyways, so the next full moon will be Friday, Saturday. So see, I'm so bad with the calendar right now. I'm not even going to try. So it'll be in Virgo. So hopefully Virgo helps to bring some organization into my world. Maybe you need that energy too. You can call on that during this next full moon. It's going to be very, very potent. I think this will be a great time to try to get organized, to take stock of what you have so that you know what you need in order to move forward with your goals, to think about the knowledge you already have, kind of organize it so that you can prepare it to build off of that and grow off of that. So just some notes about Virgo. First, Virgo is the sign of the Virgin, the pure justice. I almost would call the energy the feminine aspect of Tyr, because it is a perfectionist, it is just, it is righteous, and it's righteous with just cause, just like the energy of Tyr. They both hold that, the myth of Tyr, he put his hand in the wolf's mouth because that's what had to be done. And, oh, here comes a child. Hold that thought. My youngest one just wanted to crack the door, just for me, just in case I needed it. Anyways, so Virgo is, it carries this energy of purification and also control of that strong, powerful feminine aspect that is courageous and just, and like I said, just righteous with just causes. I try to use more than that word because everybody kind of hears things differently, but it's just that kind of energy. And if you know a Virgo, you probably know that they get really flustered when things are out of control, when things are out of the way that they should be, when it's unorganized. And I'm not saying that they're organized like Martha Stewart organized. She's got all her boxes. I bet she's a Virgo. I don't know that for sure, but it wouldn't surprise me. No, probably a Capricorn. Whatever. Anyway, so they're not necessarily organized like Martha Stewart, where they have all their boxes labeled, they have everything in a certain order, and it's this and this and that. They have it organized for themselves so that this is what is right for them. And so you can go into a Virgo's home and it can be like, oh, it's kind of cluttered, or maybe it's like this, but really it's that they have all of their tools exactly where they need them. And if you ask them, where is this? They'd be like, oh, I know right there it is. I'll go get it. And so when things aren't where they think they should be, that's when they start to get that stress. But that energy can lend itself to the rest of us, especially during the full moon, because it can help us get organized. It can help you kind of, like I said, take stock of what you have and figure out the right path for you to move forward. It can also help you if you need clarification on things, if you need the truth, if you are seeking justice. These kind of energies also are really helpful. It can also help you connect with some deep, pure emotions. Sometimes it is hard to really connect with those deeper emotions, and not like today I feel or whatever, but I'm like the feeling of sadness, the feeling of grief, this feeling of, mad, the feeling of hatred, these core, deep, deep, deep feelings. Sometimes it's hard to connect with them. Even pure happiness, they don't all have to be negative. That's when we think about feelings, just like when you think about memories, it's always those, you always have that bad one or the really, really good one, but that come into your brain. And Virgo can help you understand why. Virgo can help you see where this lesson is coming from. It can help you see, touching my microphone. There are buttons on it. I don't know if it would stop the recording. That would not be cool. Anyways, so Virgo can help you in that aspect too. So it's not just this one organized side. It's also understanding the deeper aspects of things and in a pure state. There's a lot of pre-notions about the word virgin because of the way that Christianity has colored that word in our modern language. So in the modern definition, it is that pure, whatever. We don't need to go. We all know what the virgin is, okay? In ancient times, and originally, it was more of being in control of your own purity and taking charge of that, and whatever that may mean. See if it's not a kid, it's a dog. I don't know if the microphone will pick him up. Oh, I bet it heard him whine. He's such a baby. He's so old. He's 14. We took him to the vet. We told the vet he has selective hearing. And she's like, oh yeah, he doesn't hear anything. I'm like, yeah, except for the treat bag. Don't wag your tail over here. All right, anyways. We'll see how many distractions we can get today. It's because Mercury's in retrograde, so everything is just going to be thrown in my direction. I was like, you know what? We're just going to go with it. We can't wait forever because then it will be next Sunday, and it won't be me missing a week. It'll be that I missed the full moon. So sometimes you just got to do it. Even though the world is chaotic around you, come to the center. And I guess that's kind of an energy that Virgo can help you establish and connect with, is coming to that center of all that chaos and putting things into order, no matter what kind of order you're needing at that moment. So as the full moon comes to that, you could take some time. I would get out a pen and paper. Virgo is very concrete. Virgo is very much like, this is real, this is what's going on, and this is what you need to do. And so maybe some free writing to do some organizing, maybe do a little bit of cleansing magic, like cleansing of your mind. Go to your mental temple and maybe do some dusting. However you spend time in your mental temple, just do some tidying, do some organizing, spend some time. He's licking the camera stand. He says he wants a dog treat. We give him one of those toothbrushes in the morning, and he's always ready before the children are. So, all right, bud, go tell the children. Go on. Go tell them. Anyways, so I would move the camera to show you his sad face, but then I'm sure I would mess it up and somehow, like the buttons on the camera and moving it. I'd never be able to get it back like this anyways. So, all right, so obviously everything is really, at least in my household. I don't know if it's like that in your household with Mercury in retrograde and all of the different things that are going on right now, and the energy of spring is starting to rise. So this is a great time for that full moon to come in Virgo. Hold on. He's trying to make a bed over there on plastic bags. Ridiculous. Anyways, so back to the full moon in Virgo. So you, like I was saying, you could do some free writing to organize. You could do some work in your mental temple to kind of get organized. You could also do some divination to search for some truth, to get the real answer. But don't ask unless you really want the answer. This is like I warn people when they're like, well, I'm just going to call on Tyr because I want justice. Justice is not one-sided. Justice is not always what we think it is, especially when you're in the middle of a situation. It's hard to see that you have enough responsibility also. So to when you call on that kind of justice, be prepared. If you're in a situation where you know 100% that you didn't do anything wrong and that everything is, and you just need help, there's a pedophile, there's an abusive person, there is a predator, there is something that really needs to be dealt with, this is a great energy to call on, especially Virgo, more than Tyr. But you could call on them both. Rain some justice down on something. This full moon would definitely be there for that. It has that cold, harsh energy of winter and also that Virgo energy. So it can really bring that blow. But like I said, be mindful, because if you have responsibility in it, it's not just going to be like directed where you want it. Virgo will come down and establish justice unanimously. And sometimes you need that. Sometimes you need that to learn a lesson. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying be prepared for that. I talk to some people and they're like, oh, I did this spell and then it backfired on me. And then we start talking about it and I'm like, well, was that really backfiring, or was that just the consequences of your own actions, not because of the spell, but because of what you did before the spell? Or is that the truth you were actually seeking, even though you didn't know it? When you asked that question, the fates were like, okay, whether or not you're ready for this, I'm going to give it to you. And that's kind of how Virgo is. And so if you really need that answer, this is a good time for that. Getting organized. Let's see on my notes what else I have. And by notes, I mean this book that I'm working on. Let's see. See, I still have the stuff marked from Leo because I'm so all over the place. Oh, yeah. So that's the other thing. Since I'm giving out cautions, you need to be cautious at this time, especially with Mercury in retrograde. I don't know. I'd have to go get my other paper to see when Mercury comes out of retrograde. But be mindful of overthinking things, of putting, sometimes we like squeeze a thought so hard it explodes, and that's something that you can definitely do right now. And so just be mindful of overthinking things, or being overcritical. With the eyes of Virgo, you can see everything, the little curves, the shadows, the lines, the indents, everything. And that's not always the eye that you want to look at a situation with. So just be mindful as this full moon comes. You might feel like you're looking at everything really, really critically. Somebody might approach you and be like, hey, I feel like you're kind of coming on a little strong with that. So be mindful of overjudging. And remember that just because in this moment you see those, maybe you need to soften your look and you need to see it more soft, like rosy. Doesn't necessarily have to be like piercing, evil eye kind of vision. Yeah, logical, intuitive, cleansing, enduring, like it's this harmonious, righteous justice, I guess. So, yeah, I think that's about it. Let's see what spell I have already written. Imagine I'm hitting the microphone. Well, that's the dark moon. But it's not the dark moon. It's going to be the full moon. So while I'm looking for this random thing, some people ask me, why do I call it the dark moon? So scientifically, the definition of a new moon is the first light of moon that you can see. So before the new moon, you have the dark moon. And however, this is like a brief time, depending on the year and the time and the blah, blah, blah. There's so many ways, things that influence the way that we see the moon prospectively. But there is a moment where the moon is completely shadowed out and there is no moon. It is dark. So that's why I call it the dark moon and not the new moon. The new moon is that little thumbnail, that first glimpse of light that you see, the birth of the moon, different than the dark moon. So And here I have a spell for finding change. Oh, and this is a planting spell. So planting seeds of change, planting to find this harmony. Basil seeds work really well. They also grow really well. And with spring coming, this would be a great time to start those magical garden seeds inside your window, somewhere where they'll be big enough so that by the time spring comes, at least here where I am, by the time spring comes, you can put them outside. So by Mother's Day, I mean. And so you just have to think about what kind of energy you need right now and what you want to do with the moon. Sorry, the little one is pretty devoted to getting in this video today. Anyways, so this is a great time to start your magical gardens inside under this full moon and kind of set it with that intent of pure and growth and looking for something new. You can also, like I said, do some organizing. You could do some divination, all of that. And yeah, just start with something new or deal with something old or whatever it may be. So, yeah, I was going to talk about some other stuff, but the children are ready for mom to come and deal with them. So that's how my days mostly go. I hope everybody's having a great day. If you have any questions about the full moon, you can comment right here on this video, and I can answer them and help you out and give you some direction or whatnot. If you're looking for a specific spell, you can always reach out. And like I said, if you need a moon chart, go to the peacockpages.com. It's awesome. Has lots of great resources, not just that one, but it's a pagan directory, so they have lots of stuff on there. And don't forget to like and subscribe and all that amazing stuff. And soon, hopefully soon, I'll have the time. I want to go more into like what I was talking about the other day with the exposure of being out in the elements and how it relates to the Native American story I read about sitting on an anthill. So, we'll get there, I promise. But I hope everybody's having a great day. Many blessings if I don't see you before the full moon. I hope that you have a great one, and blessed be.